Should you buy No Man's Sky in 2022? No Man's Sky, as many of you will know, launched in a tragic state, causing consumers to be mad that the product that was advertised was not the product they got, and caused immense stress on the developers due to the rightful backlash. I think it's safe to assume the developers knew the game wasn't ready, but after being invested in by Sony, they really did not have much of a choice. They were left with two options: abandon the game and take the money and run, or stand their ground and do their best to fix and add to a game that was supposed to be groundbreaking. Well, they chose the second option, but the question is, did they manage to achieve that goal? This is my No Man's Sky review. I went in pretty blind when I started No Man's Sky. I knew there were updates that were received well, but I didn't know how good they really were, and man, I could make a 2-hour video on this game, but for the sake of your time, I'll do my best to sum up my thoughts. Let's start with the story with no spoilers. Story is not particularly important in No Man's Sky, but since launch there have been some major changes from what I've now researched. The entire opening has been completely remade to offer cleaner tutorials and improve its ability to introduce you to the infinite universes that is No Man's Sky. The story itself is told through dialogue, but it isn't voice acted, at least the parts that I've played. There are alien life forms that you meet that do have some dialogue, but it sounds alien. It kind of sounds like this. So if you want some masterfully crafted story that has complete voice acting throughout, No Man's Sky isn't offering that. But the story itself, if you read the dialogue, offers a simple and easy to follow story, which is perfect for this kind of game. It's like Minecraft, but you have some story incentive to keep pushing forward to find out what is really going on, and I really appreciated this addition as it's very easy to get lost, and without that little story element you would be lost to the galaxies you can explore. That being said, you can absolutely do that if you want to. You'll have to complete the early story section so you can learn how to get to those galaxies and planets, as well as the various materials, blueprints, weapons and ship upgrades, as well as exo upgrades, etc. There is a lot to talk about, but after that you're free to explore. Although I did personally follow the story, which I haven't completed yet because I just got invested into exploring planets and taking in what's been made here. Anyway, the story itself isn't that important, but I like what they've done with it, so let's get to the meat, the gameplay. The amount of improvements made to No Man's Sky is exponential. It is shocking how much Hello Games has added or improved. I can't put into words the amount of dedication and effort that had to be put in post-launch to make this stuff work. It may not be the game we were promised back in 2016, but I'd argue it's even better at this point. Let me tell you why. If you're enjoying this video, smash that like button, maybe consider subscribing, it would help out a ton. Hello Games added a fully fledged crafting system and you can craft anywhere. Every planet you visit you can create a base with various materials and blueprints, which means you can create teleporters, storage, ramps, entire bases with landing pads, etc. There is too much for me to say and I don't want to spoil any of it, but when I first got access to it I thought, crafting is cool, but it's a little limited. And then 5 hours later, because I spent way too much time exploring, you get to the hub of the game where loads of players are and the crafting just blows up in your face. You can customize so many things and you do have to unlock them, so there is a reason to explore to craft the materials so you can go on those dangerous journeys with an incentive in order to create the best base you can. You can also customize your character, different races of aliens, colors, etc. And so far I haven't seen a single microtransaction. And we can't stop there. You can upgrade your exosuit so you can use your jetpack for longer or survive in hazardous areas for longer, among many other things that I will not spoil. You can change your different tools, so if you're less into shooting laser beams at enemies, you can craft new multi-tools and turn them into weapons like space guns, and it's just awesome. You can also get upgrades for your ship so it's quicker, or you can warp to different places quicker and more effectively, which is just, it's so cool, man. It's just cool. This to me would be the perfect Star Wars game if only you could be a Jedi. And that's a good segue to mention some of the activities you can do, like bounty hunting. You can do bounty hunter missions, man. This is a dream. You're a space bounty hunter. It's so cool. Sure, some of the earlier missions are a bit easy, but they do get harder as time goes on. I do want to make it clear, I've only put in about 20 to 25 hours into No Man's Sky, and I already feel like I've been blown away. Now, there's a few little nitpicks that I caught for the first few hours. You aren't really going to fight anything. You'll be learning how to survive, and if you are that kind of gamer that wants to have non-stop action, this probably isn't going to be for you most of the time. No Man's Sky's pacing at the start is slow because there is a lot to get used to, but once you get through that, the pacing of No Man's Sky is kind of up to you. You decide what you want to do, and this is exactly what I want from this kind of game. You decide what the pacing is. Do you want to constantly get into fights and stuff like that, which means you can go bounty hunting, or do you want to just explore and mind your own business and create stuff? It's just perfect for me. It's the perfect kind of loop which you get to decide. There's no linear point really after the first opening couple hours. You do what you want to do. The only other criticism I have is sometimes the crafting instructions weren't clear at the start. Once you get used to it, it's piss easy to learn, but at the start you'll spend a good chunk of time trying to figure out all the different materials, etc. Much like Minecraft actually, speed is the skill factor here. So if you're good at Minecraft, which I'm not by the way, you will pick this up fairly easily. It's pretty much, it's very similar with the different ways you can craft things, but I'll let you experience it. In the hub area, you can access the Nexus, which is your multiplayer missions that you can do with other players or your friends, and it's cool. It sends you to universes that you may have not explored yet, so you can explore them as well as earn some credits or nanites, so you can upgrade things while doing these missions, which is very good for an incentive once again. Also, I think they just added these pirate raids, so you can explore a planet and a bunch of pirates come flying down, shooting at everything they see, causing you to run back to your ship, hopping in and going into space, and just getting into a dogfight. And this is what I want. I've always wanted to just launch into space, being chased by space pirates and taking them on and flying off in victory. It's so cool. That's the word of this review, cool. There is still so much I haven't talked about, but you guys have got to go in with the minimum amount of spoilers and just get lost in the world of No Man's Sky. I had to look up some of the trailers before writing the review, and I'm just shocked because there is so much I haven't experienced yet and I haven't built yet or upgraded yet, and I'm just sold, guys. I played on Game Pass, but I do think I'm going to go buy it on Steam just to support these guys, and so I think you guys without a doubt should buy No Man's Sky and support these developers, because the amount of effort they've put in is just beyond comprehension for me, and is inspiring in a lot of ways, because they could have very easily given up on No Man's Sky and they didn't, and I think they've crafted one of my favorite games that I've ever played, and something that is just very, very unique. Thank you for watching.